Hello, I am Jacqueline, and today we are going to do a little bit of an engineering science experiment called Float Your Boat. So to start, you're going to need just a couple of things. So most importantly, you're going to need a container half full of water. So I'm using this 12-quart storage bin, but you can use a bucket, you can use a bowl, just a decent sized container that's half full of water, just enough so that your boat can float. And then you're going to need tin foil, and you're gonna wanna cut it into 6-inch squares. In order to do that, you're gonna need a ruler and some scissors. And then you're also gonna need some paper and then lots of pennies. So I have a lot of pennies here. Okay, to start, we're going to design our boat. So I'm going to take our paper and section it off into a chart with three categories, 3 columns. So in the first column is going to be the design, and then we're going to estimate how many pennies it's going to take to sink our boat, and then we're going to write down the actual amount of pennies. So it should look something like that, if you can see it. So I'm going to make 3 boats. You can make 3 boats, 4 boats, 5 boats, how many boats you want to make. And so for my first boat, all right, so for my first design, I think I'm just gonna leave it a square and then fold over the edges. So I'm not the best artist, but I think we'll just do some basic sketches. And then for my second design, I think I'm gonna fold the square in half first and create more of a rectangle. All right, and then for my last, I'm gonna do something more boat shaped, hopefully. Okay, so now I'm gonna hypothesize my amount of pennies. So for this first design, I think I'm gonna get around 30 pennies before my boat sinks. And then for my second design, I'm gonna up it a little bit, let's say 50. And then my third design, let's go in between and let's do 40. All right, so now we're gonna make our boats. There you go. All right, so we're gonna take our tin foil, our 6x6 squares, and for my first boat, I'm just gonna fold the edges over. And then prop it up. Fold the corners so they stay up. And then we got our first boat. Okay, for our second boat, I'm going to fold the square in half. And then I'm going to fold the corners or the sides up. Now this is just the way I'm making my boats, but you can make your boat however you want. So whatever way you think is gonna hold the most amount of pennies, that is how you should make your boat. So get creative, do any style, any technique, and then leave a comment and tell us what one worked best. Okay, my third boat. Okay, so for my third boat, I'm gonna make it more of a traditional boat shaped. Okay, now let's start putting pennies in. Start counting pennies. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Trying to even out the weight. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. We're getting close to my hypothesis of 30. 28, 29, 30. So I've officially gone over my hypothesis. 31, 32, 33, 34, that was 2, so 35, 36, 37. I got a leak. So 37 pennies it took to sink my first boat. First boat held 37 pennies, so now let's see what the second boat will hold. Oh, 26 pennies, so I was under my hypothesis by 24 pennies. So I thought that I was gonna have 50 pennies and it only took 26. And now we're gonna go into boat 3. So we'll see how this one holds up. So 19, that one only took 19 pennies. So this was the weakest boat design. Okay, when a boat floats, it settles into the water, pushing the water aside to make room for itself. But it's a two-way pushing match. The water is pushing up on the bottom and the sides of the boat, and the more force, or this force is called buoyancy, and it holds the boat up. The more water a boat pushes aside, the more force there will be pushing back on the boat and supporting it. And this is why a boat's size and shape makes such a difference in how much of a load it can carry without sinking. So what we discovered is that my square shape design was able to carry the most amount of pennies, so it was the most buoyant, and its shape worked the best for our experiment. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this experiment. When you do this at home, you can even take it a step further by redesigning your boats and trying to beat that initial result. So if I was to do this again, I could maybe make a sturdier design and beat 19 pennies for my boat. So I hope you have a good day, and thank you.